what we have here is our client has indie Remy hair. This is a number 3 hair that she brought us, and she actually colored her own hair, the top of it, to be this color. But she wants some bright reds into her hair, and she's afraid to actually color her hair. So what we're going to do is we're going to add hair extensions to her hair instead of coloring her hair. Now remember, this is the color of her hair. We've already colored this hair. We used a 6RR from Soul Color, and we with 30 volume, and we processed it for 30 minutes, and we got this auburnish like level 6 hair. And this is what it actually 6RR look like. And as you can see, it's a little bit darker, but this is the color of her actual hair that she wanted to be. Now, to give her the brighter hair that she wants, we took the same bundle hair that she bought, the version Indie Remy hair, bundle hair, and we've pre-lightened this piece with Vlight and 30 volume by Matrix. We let it process for 30 minutes and got it to be a nice gold color. And from there, we placed a 6RR on there from Color Sync with 20 volume, and we left it on for 25 minutes. And now you see we have the brighter, more shinier red. This is actually the color that she wants her hair to be. So we're going to use hair extensions and put these in her hair to give her the color that she wants. This is one of the colors that she wants, and this is the actual color of the hair. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create the next level of color that she wants, which is going to be an HDRV. As you can see the difference in the two, one HDRR, one HDRV, one's a red, one's a red violet. You can do these with color out of the beauty supply, like you can use lightener and lighten the hair color, and then you could go over top of it with, let's say, rinses by Jazzing, Beautiful Beginnings, things like that. So this is just a technique. You don't have to use the product that I'm using, but this is a way to take your Indie Remy hair that's all natural, that's not processed, that can be processed. We're going to take the hair and we're going to color it to be whatever color you want to be, and then we're going to sew it in. So you're not obligated to have your hair colored, but you can still get hair color. To start, we're going to use our lightener. We are taking 2 scoops. We have our bowl here. We're taking 2 scoops of our Vlights, and we're just going to place it in the bowl. You can do this with any lightener that you want. Any lightener will still lighten the Indie Remy hair. And we're going to take 2 scoops of, here's the a little measuring cup. Any measuring cup will do. It really doesn't matter. I like to take my measuring cup and make sure it sits on a flat level surface. I don't want to hold it same way like if you're measuring while you're cooking. If you hold it or tilt it, you don't get the full amount of product that you need, or you might have less in there. So we're using 10 volume, 2 ounces. Ten volume, 2 ounces. We're going to pour it together. Grab our brush, spatula. It really doesn't matter what you use. And just mix the two together. Make sure everything in the bowl is mixed together really well. So you don't want your powder, you know, floating around in the bowl. Make sure everything in the bowl, you know, nice and creamy. No lumps, like cake mix. Nice and creamy. You don't want the powder left around the sides. Make sure everything all mixed together. And from there, you're going to put your gloves on. And we're going to go to work. Take the hair and place it on a foil. You can use foil out of the kitchen. It really doesn't matter. I had some square pieces of foil left over from the salon from coloring my client's hair. Place the hair on the foil. take your product and just start brushing it on. Now, no matter what lightener you use, it works fairly quickly. So you want to make sure you kind of get it on real fast onto the hair. Now, we don't want to make this a gold like we did the other color to get the red. Just make this a lighter brown. And then from there, we're going to apply our next color. So this is a great technique too that you can do when you're doing the ombre. Like on some of your hair extensions. Everybody wants to wear the ombre colors and stuff like that. Just go get any lightener. Apply it to your hair extensions. You can apply it just to the ends. You don't have to do the full color on the whole hair. The whole tracts of hair, the whole weft of hair, all the hair extensions. You could just place it on the ends. Just get it over. Get it everywhere really fast. Because the product works really quickly. Spread it out. Make sure it's nice and in there. Real good. Got the top layer. Then after that, just pick the hair up. Flip it over. Stay on the foil, of course. And do the other side. This way we know the product is down in there real well on both sides. The indie Remy hair, it's a lot of hair on the track and they really, really thick. So you want to make sure that you got your product everywhere. That way you end up with, you know, even color on both sides of the hair. There you go. The color is in. Then from there, you want to set our timer real quick. You can use the timer on the stove, the timer anywhere. It really doesn't matter. Set your timer for 10 minutes. Press start. And we're going to sit here and we're going to watch it for 10 minutes. Here's the timer going. And as you can see while you're looking at it, you already see the color start to change within the hair. You see the color changing right there. It's going to a little bit lighter brown. So remember, we're just going for a little bit lighter brown. We're going to watch it. Let it process. We'll come back and show you what it looks like once it lightened up. So it's been about 5 minutes now. As you can see, the color is starting to change. So we're not going to go the full 10 minutes because I just want to change the color slightly. We're going to rinse it off and then we're going to apply our next color. So you can see right in here how the color has started to change. Remember, once again, we're coloring the bundle hair, the indie Remy hair, the version hair that you purchase online in bundles that can be colored. So now that the hair is colored, we left it on for about 5 minutes and we rinsed it off. Rinsed all the lightener off of the hair. We just shampooed it one quick time. We didn't put any conditioner on the hair. And then we simply blow dried it. So this is the natural color that we started with. And we lightened it up to the next color. So it's a level 7 that we lightened it up to. Or we just lightened it up a little bit. Just so that when we put the red on, it'll actually go red. So now we're going to take our piece of hair, put it back on our clean foils. So you can use the Product Club foil, and I just tape the squares together. Or you can use foil out of the kitchen. It really doesn't matter. Then from there, we're going back to our bowl again. Clean bowl. And our color, I'm using the Soul Color 6RR. And I'm going to use the 10 volume also. Or from this point, you can go and get a rinse. And you can just apply a rinse to it. You can use burgundy. You can use whatever color you want. Because it's going to turn out, you know, lighter than what the actual color is like on the dark hair that we have over here. So this is the color that we put on the dark hair. This color right here. And as you can see, it's not as bright as we want it to be. But it's this color, 6RR. So the brighter the hair is, the brighter the color will be. So once again, this hair, we colored it. It was really, really light, really, really gold, brighter than this color hair right here. And then from there, we put this color on, which is a 6RR. As you can see, the color matches exactly. So this is the process that we're going to go through to color your Andy Remy hair extensions. Place the hair back on a foil. You can use a rinse. Like I said, you can use a rinse to apply your color. Or you can use a permanent. It doesn't matter. We're mixing 1.5 ounces of 6RR along with 1.5 ounces of 10 volume. Mix the two together. Make sure it's all mixed up. So no matter what color you use, just mix it together. Follow the directions on the bottle, whatever the directions say. Or if it's a rinse, you just simply apply it to the hair itself. If that's actually the color you like, if you did it ombre, meaning you only lighten the ends up, so the top part will be dark and it will fade to the lighter color, you could actually just leave it as it is. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put the color back on the hair again. The same way we putting the lightener on. And we're going to color this. Get it all over the hair. Make sure it's everywhere. Don't leave no pieces. Gold, brown, blonde, whatever the color of hair is, especially if you're trying to dye it blue, purple, green, orange. You don't want any gold or blondes or browns or any other color left. The top of the weft really doesn't matter. If you don't color the top of the track, it really doesn't matter because you're going to sew it in and you're not going to see that part right there anyhow. Hopefully you won't see that part in if you're sewing it in real good. Once it's all on, flip it over. And color the other side. So a lot of people say, oh, I put hair extensions in. It's not the color I want them to be. I spent $100 and some odd on hair. This is not the color. Just go to the store. Buy the color you want. Color it yourself. Now since the color is on, it's everywhere. It's soaked with color. I don't see none of our brown showing. If you want, you can flip it another time. It really doesn't matter. As long as it's all on. Flip it over again. Make sure you got it everywhere. Now for this time, for this color that we're using, since we're using Soul Color, we're going to take it, we're going to process it for 30 minutes. And when our timer starts, as soon as we finish applying the color. So we'll be back in 30 minutes to see the results. So as you can see, we have different arrays of red here. This was our first red. Remember, this red right here was the color of our client's hair. This is the color that we've dyed our hair. So that would be our first piece on our sew-in that's closer to her hair. The next color is going to be more of a richer red burgundy light color. This is the piece that we actually dyed earlier. We lightened it up and then we went in with the red and made that redder. Our second piece in our sew-in, we lightened this up, made it even brighter blonde, and then we put a red on that. So that would be our middle piece. Our second to last piece in here, we lightened up only the ends. So we put a red at the top and a red on the bottom, meaning that we only ombreed it. So we lightened up the bottom part of it. We put the red on the top of the brown. We put the red on the bottom on the gold, and we got that two-tone effect of reds, light dark reds to light reds on the end. Then from there, we also going to take this piece of hair that we lightened up, and we're going to make the ends this bright red that we have in the beginning. The first red, we're going to put that on the bottom, and then we're going to put the darker red on the top. Not quite sure if you can see that. Dark red, light red fade. And remember, once again, this is all bundle hair that we've purchased from online, and we took each piece and colored it to the color that we wanted it to be. So you can color your bundle hair by just lightening up the process of it and then apply whatever color that you want to be. So here's an example of how it's going to go on the bottom, how it's going to get on her head. You're going to put that piece first. You're going to put that piece in the middle. This is the top portion. And this is the very last piece that's going to match and blend with her hair. So you got that nice light to dark red fade in there. See how all our colors blend together? And once again, the brown that we have at the top is where we started at. And all we did was lighten it up, such as the bottom. And we put our reds on. And we have these different reds right here. You can use any lightener that you could buy out of Sally's, or wherever you choose to buy a lightener from. You can use any color. You can make it blue. You can make it pink. You can make it purple. You can make it whatever color you want to be when you buying the bundle here. Now we're going to put it in her hair and give you the end results in part 2. Remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way you can stay current on new techniques and tips and stuff that's coming out. So now we've colored all the hair. The piece on the first piece, which will be this piece. This is the piece that we're going to start with. This is the last piece that we've lightened the ends. So this is going to go on the bottom. And then this piece right here is going to go in the middle. Followed by this piece of hair, the brighter reds. And then our 2 top pieces. So now that all the hair is colored, we can start sewing it in to our hair. Remember, this is indie hair, bundle hair that you purchased that can be colored. It started out being a number 2. Some pieces were a number 3. And we used bleach or lightener to lighten the hair. And then we colored it to different shades of red. So now we're about to start putting it in. So this is our client's hair. As you can see, the top of her hair is red. It's colored. And it's going to match the last piece of hair that we're going to put on top, which is the part that's going to blend into her hair. So this color right here is the blended part that matches her hair. This is going to be the last piece that we put in at the top area of her hair up here. So she's already braided. This is our braiding pattern that we use on her. Just simply braid it in a circle. Lift the top half of her hair out. Left her sides out so that she can be able to pull it back into a low ponytail. And we're going to start layering in the colors, the reds, for that beautiful red color.